Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 244, written by Hyriath O. Glitch of Nature. We've been living here for 4 years, and I'm sure this tree was not there before. It's my favorite corner of the backyard because there's a snake that usually hides in the bush that is in that corner. I go there often to see the snake. That tree was never there. There was just a bush. Today I went there again. I go there every day. And the bush is there, but a big tree is there too, right next to the bush. I thought my parents somehow bought that tree and planted it there, although I found it weird because it's a huge tree. So I asked them how they got the tree, and they looked at me all confused and said, "It's always been there." They said it was already there when we moved in. There's absolutely no way. I've been here for 4 years, and there's no way I didn't see this tree. I go there every day. I asked my brothers too, and they all told me that the tree was always there. What the hell is going on? Case file number 245, written by Chaos Destroyer 01. The Shirt of Universes. I spent the last few days, almost a week, at my best friend's place, and the first night I was there, I was wearing one of my band shirts that I really like. She even made a joke about it, so I for sure know that she saw me wearing it. Anyway, later I take it off to sleep because I was getting too hot in the spare room, and when I wake up in the morning, it isn't on top of the desk where I thought I put it. I was like, alright, whatever, I misplace things all the time. It'll crop up later. Over the next few days, I kept looking for it, but I never saw it, nor did she. But here it is. Today I came home from her place, and it's literally folded sitting on top of my bed, along with the spare socks and boxers I brought with me that I also thought I lost. I couldn't even process it for a second, and had to tell my brother about it. Any rational suggestion he brought up never happened. I'm half convinced everything is a simulation at this point. Case file number 246, written by KingNightingale. A trick of the mind on this dark night? I went over to a friend from work's place. I live in Wisconsin, and for the past few days we've had a lot of crazy thunderstorms and rain rolling through. And this night was the craziest it got. The roads were flooded, lightning and thunder constantly crackling in the sky. Driving over had me feeling a little nervous, and normally I never feel worried about how I drive in storms, but it was extra windy and pouring rain. Anyway, I make it to my friend, John's, apartment, and as I get out of my car, there is a deafeningly loud thunderclap overhead, as if Thor himself had just landed in the backyard. I approach the door to the apartment, to which my buddy is already standing at the foot of the dark stairwell leading to his apartment. Our power's out, he tells me. I walk in and go upstairs with him into their apartment. As I enter the room, it's obviously pretty dark, but not pitch black. It was still 8 p.m. around this time, and some light was creeping in from their balcony sliding door. I made note that Patrick, another coworker who lives with my buddy, was sitting on the couch by this window, along with another silhouette of a person who I assumed was his brother, who had been staying with them for a little while. Both of them turned their heads towards me when I entered, but didn't say anything. I began feeling a nervous panic as I turned to put the beer I had brought over in the fridge. I, for some reason, felt weird energy in the living room around the corner where Patrick and his brother were sitting. John said something like, "You can go into the living room, you don't have to hang back here." And I turned the corner, greeted Patrick, and was going to greet his brother until I noticed the other silhouette I saw was now gone. Now it was just Patrick on the couch. I don't let this freak me out now. I waited a good 15 to 30 minutes before saying, "Hey, weren't there 4 of us in here?" To which John and Patrick both said, "No." I then mentioned that I thought I saw Patrick's brother sitting on the couch next to him, to which Patrick explains his brother left 2 days ago. So what the hell did I see turn its head to look at me enter? Why was it sitting next to Patrick? Was this just my mind filling in the blanks because I assumed his brother was over? And it was dark enough that my mind put an imaginary person next to Patrick? What happened? If you're enjoying this video, consider giving it a like. Now on to the next story. Bonus file, written by DrBeehn. Something followed me home from vacation. I need some help identifying whatever the hell is here with me. I just got back from a week-long vacation last night, and the same activity from the house I was staying in is going on at my apartment. I apologize in advance for any incoherence in what I say, because I haven't gotten much sleep last week. The house we stayed in was gorgeous, and since my entire extended family was staying there, 18 people, it was also absolutely massive. It was split into 2 parts, the old side of the house, roughly just a basement studio and 3 bedrooms upstairs, and the newer side. I'm not going to go into much detail about the newer side, as no paranormal activity took place there, but it was truly a gorgeous house. I shared a room with my girlfriend, and since we were the last to arrive, we got the worst room in the house. Not only did we get the smallest room in the house, it was about 10 feet by 10 feet. It was also on the old side of the house, directly in front of the basement stairs. As I had been driving for 6 hours that day, I was pretty tired, so I said hello to everyone and quickly got into bed to go to sleep. It was around 11 p.m. when my girlfriend and I got into bed. She's lucky in the sense that she can fall asleep just about anywhere in 5 minutes flat, so she was asleep within seconds. I had a weird, uneasy feeling in my chest. Not necessarily a scary feeling, just that annoying alert feeling you get when you feel like something is watching you. To help ease myself, I hopped right down into a YouTube rabbit hole. About an hour into my journey, I could tell that my girlfriend was having a nightmare, so I put my hand on her arm to gently wake her up. But as soon as I touched her, she bolted awake screaming, mumbled, "The ghost," and immediately went back to sleep. I had just started to get tired, and safe to say, I was sufficiently creeped out at this point, so back down the rabbit hole I went. About 2 hours went by when my girlfriend woke up screaming again, saying, "The footsteps are close," and passed out immediately. I then decided I'm not going to sleep that night, and went right back to YouTube. Another hour passes and I see my girlfriend sit up in bed, but she's still asleep. She moved so she was sitting on the edge of the bed and started having a conversation with the corner of the room. She eventually laid back down, but not before I was absolutely terrified. Activity dies down after the first night, usually just creaks on the floor or knocks on the wall/door. The only other standout event besides movement around the room happened on the second to last night when something sat down on the edge of my bed. My first thought was that my cat jumped onto the bed, but I remembered I wasn't at my apartment and sat up just in time to see the indentation lift up off the edge of the bed. It couldn't have been my girlfriend, as she was on the opposite side of the bed and nowhere near where the indentation happened. Also, the bed I was staying in was firm as a rock, so it was challenging to push that far down into it. Fast forward one more sleepless night, and I'm on my way home. After a long day of driving, I got back and settled down with some Netflix. My girlfriend had plans to go hang out with her friends, so she was out for most of the night. I thought I'd finally get a break from the spooky stuff when my dog and cat both started tracking something around my apartment. The way their heads were moving, whatever they saw was moving fast. Now I've seen them track bugs before, but neither of them really focus on it too much. They usually just huff and ignore it, but this was different. Poppy, my dog, started growling when whatever it was moved into the corner of the room. My cat Anna jumped up right next to me on the couch while Poppy growled at the corner and started to slowly back up towards me. After a full week of crap like this, I wasn't even scared anymore. Just pissed off and tired because it likes to keep me from falling asleep, whatever it is. Poppy and Anna both track the thing moving out of the corner towards us, so she starts barking like crazy. After I got her to stop barking, I heard a growl come from the center of the room. It was pretty high-pitched, like a small dog or a girl. Judging by where my pets were tracking, it looked like it was very short, very fast, and could jump up on the table on counters. I stood up, stared in its general direction, and said, "Please leave." I got a huge wave of chills and goosebumps. In places I didn't even know I could get goosebumps, but I said it again, much louder and more stern this time, while opening my front door to let it out. "Please leave." Whatever it was got really upset. It didn't do anything, but I could feel a lot of anger. My pets tracked it moving towards a door, so I thought I was in the clear. About 2 minutes later, my dog starts barking at the corner of the room where the door is, while my cat is on full alert, staring at the same place. At this point, I just give up and hope it just leaves me alone, since it hasn't been violent yet, just annoying. Poppy eventually fell asleep at my feet, and Anna had run into the other room, occasionally poking her head out of the door to look in and immediately spring back into the room. I just gave up on dealing with it at this point. I put my earbuds in to block out the knocks on the walls and watched some YouTube. I decided to stay up until my girlfriend got back to let her know what was happening, but whatever it was, took this as an opportunity to mess with me. I was laying on my couch and kept feeling something poking me every 5 minutes. Not hard, just constant pokes on my arms and legs and feet. After this went on for a while, it pulled up on my nostrils. Again, I just ignored it because I learned it gets worse if I engage with it. Whenever something like this would happen, I could feel the apartment get much colder, despite my thermostat saying it was 72 degrees. After hours of knocking, poking, pulling, and the occasional arm brush, my girlfriend finally got home. The second she got through the door, I could tell that whatever it was had left, as I had no uneasy feeling and there were no more weird noises, so I had one of the most restful nights I've had in over a week. I don't know if it's gone for good or if it will come back tonight. Other than the growl and the short but overwhelming sense of anger, it hasn't been violent or disturbing, just really annoying. Any help on how to identify or safely communicate with it would be greatly appreciated. Edit. It has only been a couple of hours since I posted this, but activity has been a little higher since. For starters, I am running a fever out of the blue. My temp was 98.8 this morning. I checked because I had a fever the previous night, and it has risen again to 101.3 in only 15 minutes. On top of this, the knocking and rustling noises around the apartment have started up again. I feel absolutely drained. It's even hard to keep my eyes open despite a good night's rest yesterday. The main point of this post is for advice and help on how to deal with this thing. Thank you to anyone who can help. Update. Luckily, there has been no new activity since a couple of nights ago, not even an unsettling feeling. My girlfriend and I have been home pretty much consistently the past day, and things seem to only pick up when I'm alone in the apartment. Normally I wouldn't be worried, but I have to take the next couple of days off of work, and my girlfriend is leaving for a beach trip for the next couple of days, so I will be alone. More updates to come.